Hi guys, welcome to my video on Vedic astrology. My name is Dinesh. So before I start, let me first introduce myself. Basically, I'm from Singapore. I was born and brought up in Singapore. And about 5 years ago, I stumbled upon Vedic astrology. And since then, I have been kind of hooked up to astrology. So basically, my purpose for this video is to actually spread some awareness to people, to especially the Hindus in Singapore and Malaysia, about the auspicious and inauspicious timings in both Singapore and Malaysia. There is quite a huge confusion between people in Singapore and Malaysia with the panchang and the inauspicious timings, because they base their inauspicious timings based on the Indian calendar, Indian panchang, which is actually totally wrong. For example, one of the most popular inauspicious period is actually the Rahu Kalam, which is allocated to Rahu, and the Yamagandam, which is a period allocated to Kedu. So both these grahas, I would not call them planets, but I would call them grahas. They are known as malefic grahas in Vedic astrology. So any periods allocated to these grahas is considered inauspicious. So we wouldn't want to do any activities, any good activities such as marriages, such as beginning a journey during these periods, this Rahu Kalam and Yamagandam. You can start a journey before, or you can start preparing for a wedding before Rahu Kalam. For example, if you're leaving your house to go to the temple for your marriage, you can leave before the Rahu Kalam period. That's the thing. But while you're on your journey, Rahu Kalam can be ongoing. Most important, you shouldn't start a journey, students shouldn't start an activity during the Rahu Kalam and the Yamagandam. Okay, so the confusion here is basically the timings in India and the timings in Singapore. For example, the timings for Rahu Kalam in India is starts from, for a Sunday, starts from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. But for in Singapore and Malaysia, where the Greenwich mean time is plus 8 hours, and the sunrise sunset is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. is actually it starts from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. on a Sunday. So there's a 1 hour difference. So this 1 hour difference follows through for every day, for each day, and this is what I would like to explain in this video. So let's not delay any further. Let's go to the slide. Hi all, welcome to the slide on auspicious and inauspicious timings for Singapore and Malaysia based on GMT of 8 hours. So before I begin, let me change this pointer options to highlighter, and let's leave it with yellow. So for example, on a Sunday, the Rahu Kalam is between 5:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. Singapore and Malaysia time. So if you realize, this is slightly different from the Indian timing of Rahu Kalam, which begins from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on a Sunday. But this differences in the timing is due to the sunrise time. The sunrise in India is between 6 a.m. and it sets at 6 p.m. on an average day-to-day basis. But for Singapore, it's actually sun rising time is actually around 7 a.m. and it sets at 7 p.m. So that's why you have this 1 hour of differences. So same goes for the Yamagandam. It starts from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. This is the inauspicious timings. Okay, you have Gulika 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. So basically, let me explain something about something slightly different about Gulika. Gulika is a period where if you carry out an activity, it tends to repeat itself. So for example, if you are going to do some death, like a activity related to death,
you wouldn't want to do it during the Gulika period because such activities tend to repeat itself during the Gulika periods. And at the same time, you wouldn't want to do a wedding during this period because, of course, this is you wouldn't want to repeat weddings. For most of us, it's a once in a lifetime event. The next, let's move on to Arthapraharan and Kalan. Okay, these two time periods is in Vedic astrology. You can't really find much text that explains about these two time periods, but there are some astrological text that explains about Arthapragaran and Kalan, and so that's why I chose to include it in the inauspicious table. So 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. will be inauspicious. Kalan 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday is inauspicious. Of course, you have the night periods, Yamagandam between 7 to 8:30 p.m. and Gulike from 10 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. So this is all your inauspicious timings for Singapore and Malaysia. So what we need to do is then exclude all these time periods on a Sunday, and we can find out what is the auspicious timings for a Sunday. So between 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and afternoon 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is the auspicious timing for a Sunday. But on top of that, there is one other rule that we need to keep in accounted for, and let me explain that. But before that, let's look into what is known as the natural benefics and natural malefics. Okay, in Vedic astrology, there's such a concept where natural benefics, also known as Shubhagrahas, are Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, and the Moon. And of course, you have the natural malefics, also known as the Ashubhagrahas, which are Saturn, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, and the Sun. So the natural malefics, they tend to do good. Sorry, the natural malefics tend to do bad. They are malefics. The name itself suggests that. And the benefics, they tend to do the good. Okay, so the time periods allocated to the benefics are the good timings, and the time period allocated to the natural malefics are the bad timings. So let's look at the next slide. This is also known as a hora, where the day is divided equally, and each planet is allocated a certain time period. Okay, so on average for a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. sunrise sunset day on a Sunday, this is how it's been allocated. So you have the sun. Okay, the period allocated to the sun is from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. morning on a Sunday. So sun is a Ashubha Graha, so we will not include 7 to 8 as a as a auspicious period. And 8 to 9 is Venus. Venus is a Shubha Graha. 9 to 10 Mercury is a Shubha Graha. 10 to 11 Moon is a Shubha Graha. So if you can see that 8 to 11 it's going to be considered auspicious based on the horas. So then we have to go back to the table, and you can see that 8:30 to 11 a.m. is not being intersected with any of these inauspicious period, and that's why we have considered it as an auspicious timing. Okay, because in both based on inauspicious timings and also the horas, it is revealing that it's a auspicious time. So the same goes for 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you go back to the slide, you can see that between 3 to 4 it's allocated to Venus, and it is not intersecting with the inauspicious periods. So therefore, on a Sunday 3 to 4 p.m. is considered as a auspicious timing. Okay, so for those whom are not really interested in all these technicalities of identifying auspicious timing, then you can just screenshot this table on the auspicious timing, and then you can use them for your day-to-day activities, such as, for example, if you are viewing a property and the agent tells you that, okay, you can only view this property maybe on a Sunday to purchase this property, to view first, and he has a tight schedule, so he tells you that only this following Sunday you can come to view, and he tells you to choose the timing. So you tell him that, okay, I will come between 8:30 to 11 a.m. or 3 to 4 p.m. on Sunday to view the property. So this is just for normal day-to-day activities, but of course, if you're looking at marriages, weddings, uh, purchasing of the property itself, the day that you go and do the transaction, or buying a vehicle, the day you carry out the transaction of purchasing the vehicle. So for such cases, of course, you need to look into the panchanga and find a proper day that is suitable for your activity, and based on the muhurta timing given, you can carry out all auspicious activities. But this table that I have explained to you here is just for day-to-day activities. For some activities that you would like to, you just want to see the timings before you begin, or before you travel, you want to look at the timings, what time I can start a travel. Of course, you should refer to such timings. Okay. So I believe I've explained myself well, and hope to see you guys on my next video. And if you have any comments, you can put down your comments on the comment section below. Thank you very much.